America. Hello, America. It's us again.
Here we go again. Once more again.
They're them two men again.
Oh,
Yeah. Man, I swear, all day I've been listening to our past podcasts all day and listening to other people podcasts, and a lot of people are saying the same thing that we're saying. Almost like they're listening to our shit, or we're all on the same wavelength. We're all on the same wavelength, huh?
Yeah, we on the same. I said we all on the same vibration right now.
Yeah, we're on the same vibe, and so which that lets me know we're on the right direction, moving in the right direction so far.
Yeah. Also, I'm getting a hell of synchronicity right now. Hella synchronicity.
Oh yeah,
right?
and what?
I keep happening to look at the clock and it's 33, and y'all keep on constantly seeing 33. And brother went out again. Okay.
Yeah, but hits the wrong button. But as you were saying again.
Yeah, just to keep having ill synchronicities and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I just been like, it's like ill tuning in to higher vibration, man, higher communications and stuff. Like I'm getting like hella channels and shit now, like real messages coming through, man.
Okay,
it's like,
man.
It's like real optimistic stuff. Like, man, this is a time that we can like reshape reality and what we want it to be. But that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to shape reality into what they want it to be for the next, you know what I'm saying, cycle or whatever.
Yeah, but they got to use us. They got to manipulate us to get that to happen, because they can't do it themselves.
Of course not.
They need us. Huh?
Yeah.
They need us. They need us as the battery to manifest.
Right. Not only the battery, but we the one got the connection to the energy that they're accessing to actually create a reality. You know
so in other words, we're like the genie in the lamp.
Right. See now you getting what I was talking about mastering your demons. Mastery over your demons is mastery over the universe. Right?
Yeah.
You master the demons, you master the universe. And it's like really mastering your angelic beings and your demonic beings. You master them. They come under your servant. Right?
In other words, you're down here to master your entire being.
Yes.
No
doubt.
Yeah, you must master your entire being. But a lot of people, they feel they're here to have fun, have a good time, and then check out.
No, that's part of it too. Know what? Because I remember we had that conversation in indulgence and overcoming reality, overcoming the temptation of reality. But what happens is you have to indulge, right? Because I was thinking about a master could go into a binge of indulgence, right? A master can go into a binge of indulgence and still bring himself out of it.
Yeah.
And still bring himself out of it, right? Somebody who's actually a real master can fall off the wagon and still pull himself right back. That's a master. Fall off the wagon and come right back and be right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, a lot of us has already done that. I've done that, fell off the wagon and came back.
Right, me
Shit,
too.
I got ran over by the wagon. And still made it back.
Right.
Well,
it's just the inner battle. Go ahead and do the mantra, brother.
okay, I'm doing one of my old ones here. Okay. Through the power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, endless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being to become realized into physical realization, actualization, and form, as we all now will and commanded to be, is now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now, being and becoming the great primordial dragon god son Kundalini flame, now whirling and ascending up our spine from our root chakra to our central heart chakra and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, the hidden priestly grandmaster magi, dragon god, son, king, and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god, son, kings, and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now aiding us now in being and becoming able of willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, and all of the dark matter and dark energy within the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be. Now being and becoming an active force of unstoppable energy that we all need now to help us overcome all of the obstacles and adversities in our lives, completely dissolving all of our worries, lacks, and problems into nothingness, now manifesting into our life as all of the substance that we need to will and command our lives into the proper order and law that we will and command our lives and desire our lives to be. As I affirm the positive abundance in the absolute all, as nichness of oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into our reality and life as divine love, perfect health and vitality, the abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching our lives and the lives of everyone around us while protecting us from the evil of human thoughts and evil deeds against me and my family, neutralizing all of our enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and destruction of the evil soulless counterfeit spirits, the ignorant walking dead automatons and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and its archonic forces enslaving and feeding off of the energy of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the entities and deities aligned with Yaldabaoth, who slayed our souls before creation, trapping them all into its prison of this physical realm of physical matter to be reborn, live, suffer, and die over and over again and again for centuries and millenniums until now, because now's the time of our rise as we all now ascend back up to conscious unity, as now's the time of their fall, as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we all now will and commanded to be. Through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into physical realization, actualization, and form, as we all now will and commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe.
Presto changeo.
Yep.
Okay, now, as you know, they turned on the Hadron Collider, the CERN Hadron Collider, or particle accelerator.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard about that. And
Okay. Go ahead.
well, CERN is none of our. If we got our large hadron collider on our Kundalini first eye, then CERN is none of our concern.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
what they're doing is they're giving evidence to what the people who refer to what we speak of as pseudoscience, right? But they have a big ass device trying to tap into the mysterious world that most of y'all refer to us as pseudoscience for mentioning. So I'm just looking at it as a notch on our belt to show that yeah, this stuff is real,
mm-hmm.
and they're attempting to tap into these other worlds that exist simultaneously amongst this so-called world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I look at it as. It's like they just giving us evidence of what we've been saying is true. You know
Yeah, but see, but they're poking the stick in the side of the monster. Okay, that black hole, that dark energy. They poking, and they're agitating something that's gonna come over here and bite their head off.
I think that's in the benefit of those who are order out of chaos being. That's
Mm-hmm.
in the whatever they're doing because we thrive in order and chaos.
Yeah,
That's what
and whatever it is that's gonna come over here, we're gonna be related to it. They not.
exactly.
They not.
Exactly. It's gonna relate to us and shit. That's why I was
Yeah.
saying the end of the world doesn't mean us.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It means the end of
It
their
never
world.
means us. It never means us.
No. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's like really it's really time for celebration at the end of the day. Because of all of
Yeah.
these events cosmically and planetary, these things are just evidence of what we've been saying for over 20 years. From my perspective, I've been saying this stuff. I got shows and shows that I've done, and I was just saying a lot of the stuff that now people are trying to act like they figured it out and all that stuff. Yeah, okay, you figured it out years later. Okay, thank you.
Oh, hey, dude, check this out. You saw what happened to the Georgia Stones?
Wow, that shit crazy. That shit
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think the
Somebody
motherfuckers got zapped. I think they got zapped, man.
No, somebody blew it up. Well, the
That's what
story
they
was
said.
they said somebody blew it up because it was satanic.
Well,
So
that of course they gonna say that, but I think that shit got zapped by something. I mean, did you also you see
Go ahead.
you see those lights in the sky in San Diego the other day, on TV? The people
Was it on national TV?
yeah, it was all over the place. They didn't the government tried to say it was missiles or something, but it was these lights that were just hovering in the sky over San Diego. And
Anytime you see something like that, they're experimenting, or it's either they're experimenting with some suppressed technology, or they're testing out their simulations, and they doing simulations, and they're testing out the Project Bluebeam thing because they already said on record that they're going to actually orchestrate these events. Some of these events, they said it on record. They're
yeah,
going to orchestrate these events.
they might not be allowed to though. I mean, the Confederation out there might not allow them to do all of that.
The Confederation, me personally, the Confederation ain't in charge of shit. They in charge of whatever is they deem as their domain or their jurisdiction. But yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
They nah, because there's so many other entities amongst us that got other claims. It's just like how everybody claiming America right now. Everybody claiming it, and everybody want to deny everybody else claim on this shit. So that's happening galactically now too, where you know what I'm saying. A lot of these different groups of entities that can't directly interfere with human affairs. They can't directly interfere with human affairs, but they on the sidelines trying to indirectly affect it.
Well, indirectly means that they'll work through our subconscious minds and try to.
They spend a lot of time. They spend a lot of time socially engineering us to make us do what their agenda is. That's the problem. We're carrying out their agenda by being under the program.
Well, yeah, you got that right. Well, at this time, we're supposed to be carrying out our own agenda. I mean, Bobby Hemmett hit the hammer on the nose a long time ago when he had this lecture called Our Mystical Magical Agenda, the Black Mystical Agenda. He did that lecture right here in LA in Baldwin Hills.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. The Black Mystical Agenda.
Okay, I gotta peep that one out. I don't think I ever seen that one.
You got to see that one. He hit everything.
The one I've been watching is the one I've been watching recently is the gathering of the masters.
The Masters Gathering.
That old one. That is like the one with Khalid was in it. When Khalid was in it. The one with Khalid and Bobby Hennett had an argument.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was a good one. That was a good one. Why? Because it kind of broke the psychological bond of the whole mystery versus the history type thing. That's where we're broken at right now.
Speaking of Khalid, based on Rod Hayes, Khalid not dead.
Damn. That'll be crazy if he ain't. That'll be motherfucking crazy.
Just like Big Tuki's not dead. They said he was in cryogenic sleep, or they froze him. They just unthawed him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny, but I can't laugh at it because.
But they weren't allowed to kill him. They couldn't kill him.
Man, this reality is way stranger than you may think. Okay, so I'm not putting nothing past nothing.
Let's see. This is how this reality is. What you think is reality is not reality.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I swear that's exactly what it is. I've been trying to say this for the longest. Program. Yep. Once you see yourself repeating repeating what they call not nuances, but what they call them. Damn, I can't think of the word right now. But when you know you in the program,
we call them the loop.
Right.
Yeah, you just loopity loop.
Yes, you in the program. You got to get out of the program. You got to challenge your own mind right now. You need to challenge your own thinking right now. If you're not, you're just gonna fall back into the loop.
Well, it's more to it than a loop. You're trapped in a whirlpool. You're in a whirlpool. Right. And you get sucked to the center of that sucker. You get sucked into it. You ain't getting out.
Right, but it represents your own energy working against you. You allowing your own energy to work against you. You are
that's all it is.
Working against you right now.
Yeah, you're fooling. You're tricking. You're doing some trickery against your own self.
Right.
Yeah, you're tricking yourself into believing that you're going through that you got a real issue, that you can't do nothing about. And I guess you just came down here to experience, to know what it's like to be in a situation where you feel helpless and you're really not helpless.
Right. I look at it like this, brother. Your own mind is your greatest asset and your worst enemy too. Again, can work against you on so many levels. Your own mind.
Well, yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
It works if you don't. But that's why it's important for you to master over your mind. It's important. You have to understand the. You have to understand the fact that it's waning like the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's like a pendulum. Everything is like a pendulum, up and down. Especially here, that cycle that's up and down. You got to ride the wave instead of going against the grain.
Yeah.
Within your energy, that's within you. That is nothing that I'm talking about outside of yourself right now. I'm talking about your own energy. You are riding against your own self.
Yeah. And your mind, you have, like we were talking about this before, but you have deeper levels of mind. You know, conscious mind, subconscious, super subconscious, magnetic subconscious, the infinite subconscious. And it's about connecting with all those deeper levels of self.
Yes. Right.
And
being able to justify all of these aspects of yourself, justify them in a more balanced, healthy way, in a balanced ma'at way, like, and not looking at it as all conflicting with each other.
Yeah, right? You look at it like Voltron. It's like Voltron. You put all the motherfuckers together and you form Voltron.
Which is kind of hard in the sense of what we're speaking on the spiritual level, like, because things that you may think are in contrast to each other actually are complementary. Complementary. It just depends on the perspective and where you at in your actual development. That how you see the bigger picture.
Yeah, you put these certain components together, then they create something else.
Right.
Yeah, you put all the components together. Like I say, you form Voltron.
No doubt.
Yeah.
But like I said, the components,
Defender of the galaxy.
Look, the components seem like they don't fit. But they actually do.
It's like putting Osiris back together, putting those 14 pieces back together.
Right.
They might seem kind of weird and awkward, but when you put them back together, you form Voltron.
No doubt. And when you got to find the most important piece, which is symbolically, they said the penis, but it's symbolic to the pineal gland.
It was the pineal gland. It was the phallus of God, the penis of God.
Right.
Yeah, which is the pineal gland. Which means the pituitary gland is the pussy of God.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's you got the pituitary, the hypothalamus. I think the hypothalamus fucks the pituitary, and then it's kind of weird. It's three. It's the mother, father, and son type of thing.
Right. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, well, it's talking about these three glands.
Yeah.
All these three glands working together harmoniously: the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the pineal. And not to forget the medulla oblongata too. You see, we have all these glands, and we got this kundalini and these chakras. When you turn that shit on, it's like we're turning on our large hadron collider.
Right, our ability to tap into multi dimensions.
Okay,
so, but the thing about it is, one of those glances that we think is insignificant is what we refer to as the tonsils.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thymal glands, or it starts with a T, thymal glands or something like that. But most people have had that removed because they said it's unnecessary, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine the fact that they had a wire cut off from their energy ciphers, their energy cycles. One has been cut off because those correspond, those glands, those 7 glands correspond with the 7 chakras.
Mm-hmm.
They literally correspond. And the anointed oil that is secreted, the anointed oil is secreted. This is coming from those glands.
The ambrosia.
Yeah, in their science, they said it's unnecessary. You can cut that out.
Yeah, because their science is based on mathematics and logic.
Right, cruel.
Yeah, intellect.
Cruel, physical, and that's how they think. Now they see, and they still can't understand the mystery to the extent where they want. That's why they have to be very secretive about what they figured out.
Yeah, that's why they got quantum science.
They are very secretive of what they figured out. Now, how do we know this, right? Because science is a society. The scientific community is a society, right?
Yeah,
and they cannot speak on things that are exclusively being spoken on in the society.
Right.
They can't, unless they go to that society, because it's like a priesthood. If they go to that society, they get the okay to speak on it. That's just like, look, the COVID was a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because the COVID was scientifically closed to the public.
It was what?
The COVID was scientifically closed to the public.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So no one else can examine it. No one else can examine their claims of there being some deadly disease. Their claims, it was all a claim.
Yeah, because they owned it.
Right. They own, not only did they own the disease itself,
they own the rights to it.
They own the rights to even speaking on it. To even researching it. Allegedly. You understand me?
Yeah. Other than what research they say they do.
So, but this is how they manipulate the motherfucking policies now. They're manipulating because now they have taken the trust, that the little bit of trust, even though that's weakening, that's weakening now. People don't have no trust for this so-called government anymore.
No, the government don't get it now. They don't care now. They're like, take it, just take it, bitch. Until
no, but for the most part, people don't trust they have, but they have no other choice to this. Like they're like they basically like a victim of circumstances. Like they have no other choice. We invested a lot in this shit. This is why so-called black people have made the decision to keep on dealing with the beast, because they've invested so much. They've invested so much to it.
It's like they put them in this little playground, nice little swimming pool, slides and everything. But to get out of it, you got to go through a minefield full of explosives. And if you don't navigate yourself through this minefield, you're going to get blown up. So why fucking go through that minefield and get my ass blown up? And I can just stay here on the playground. and yeah, because it's too complicated. Yeah, they got themselves shit bunkered in.
So they basically saying, fuck it, I'll just be a comfortable slave, not questioning. Like I'll just really be a comfortable, unquestioning, uncritical thinking slave, and I'm fine. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is you totally turned your back on humanity because humanity are the batteries for these entities, experiments, these entities' agenda, whatever they're doing, you're saying, okay, let them use us.
You turning your back on your higher self.
Right.
You're turning your back. You're saying to your higher self, which is God, that I don't believe in you. I don't believe that it's just too much for me to even try to tap into you because I'm so embedded into this shit. Not even you can help me.
But guess what? That's when these same people don't realize you have given in to your lower self desires now. You in the demon realm now. You're possessed by the demons. You're not possessing the demons.
Oh, then what you got coming for you is you earned it. What's coming for you, you brought it on your own self. You pretty much gonna.
Well,
I mean, because when that shit all collapse in on you, you're trapped in a living hell. You're gonna be trapped in a living hell.
Yeah, that they created for themselves.
Yeah, we're all gonna.
Yeah, they're creating the living hell by being neglecting their own self-development, their own spiritual development, raising their vibration. So they saying, oh no, I don't want to raise my vibration. I'm comfortable with being low vibrational. And whatever comes with that, I'm taking it. I've actually literally heard people say that. Like, like, fuck it, I don't care. I just rather be low vibrational and
I just deal with that when I get there.
Exactly. Really knowing that they're not being serious about the consequences of that. That's what it is. You're not being serious about that. And that's
they don't
really
know.
What it is.
Yeah, and that shit when that day happens, the past is just the past. That's over with. Now it's gonna be this day and forward. I mean, what you're going through now is going to determine the shit you're going to be going through from here on out for the rest of your life.
I look at it like pork eaters. Yeah, you enjoyed eating that fried bacon and all that pork products the whole time. You enjoy yourself. Okay, keep on enjoying yourself.
You're gonna enjoy all that medication your ass gonna have to be taking, high blood pressure, cholesterol.
No, they're not gonna enjoy that. See, they hypocrites. They hypocrites. They don't keep the same energy. They want somebody to feel sorry for their ass when they get to that point, though. No,
I know.
Did it to you.
But then when I look at them and I see how fat and out of shape and how they just, how they used to pile it up and just eat all any way they wanted, I can't feel sorry for you. I mean, I feel sorry that you didn't figure it out, that you didn't get it together, that you decided to go this way. I feel sorry for you on that aspect. But the fact that you did it, this was conscious choice. That's on you. You did that to your own self.
All in moderation. If your ass is eating fucked up every day, then you deserve what you get. Now, if you have you some pork every once in a while and shit, dude, good mind, go ahead. But if you eating that shit every day, look, moderation is one of the most lessons, the most abundant principle that you can see in the Bible. Moderation,
But
right?
not only
Like,
that, but not only that, you're doing your family a disservice, especially if you have kids, all right, and you have a spouse, and you got two spouses that are fat, out of shape, heart disease, diabetes. They're gonna die at a young age and orphan their kids, and those kids are gonna have to be raised by either by the state or by another relative.
so you perpetuating the beast's control over this domain. Well, we supposed to be coming over on this domain. Master archons are not supposed to be in control of this domain.
You know who had it right? You know who had it right? The motherfucking Germans had it right. You know, when they was trying to become the the perfect race or the master race. I mean, their society, there was no fat people. You know, everybody worked out. I mean, it was still twisted, but the discipline, the discipline part of the society as a whole, you know, people were strong. You know, they worked out, they exercised their mind, they exercised the body. You didn't have a society of fucking wimps.
Right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it was led in the direction that it was led, but I guess that had a purpose too. But they kind of had it right though.
That's propaganda. Whatever they told us in America, we don't know the truth. We don't know the truth. I'm gonna keep
Yeah,
reiterating
have
over
you ever
again.
read Nietzsche? Nietzsche.
No, I haven't.
You got to check out some of Nietzsche's reading. Nietzsche,
Okay.
Nazi. Yeah, you got to check out it. It's on audiobook.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how I already said I was gonna start catching up with a lot of books by listening to them.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of audio books out because I've been personally reading a couple of books, but I can't never finish them though. So.
Yeah, I know. It's reading is, man. I wish we can do it the Matrix where we can download the shit into us.
I mean, it's already in you. This when you read, and all you're doing is remember what you already knew anyway. But
Yeah, you're reinforcing it or you're reawakening it.
Yeah, you confirming, you confirming it. You wakening up that innate memory, or
Mm-hmm.
it's you was born with it, right? When you go to
Yeah,
the original understanding of education, it's literally bringing something up from out of you, not
drawn out
putting
from
something
within. It's drawn out
right.
from within. A Duco. Yeah,
Right. Which is
yeah.
actually goes back to Sanskrit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sanskrit. People sleep on that Sanskrit. That's where you get the word Naga. Naga comes from out of Sanskrit,
Oh,
which is the serpent gods. Serpent gods.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This was a whole. This was talking. The Nagas spoke of a whole race of serpent gods.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, that's
Now,
back to that.
did that happen? And see, like I remember when Bobby Hemmett used to talk about that. He called them, that was the Kundalini race. The Nagas are the reptilians were the ones who had full access to the Kundalini power.
Wow.
Yeah, and you gotta read. I sent you that audio book on the Emerald tablets. Excuse me, a thought, the Emerald tablets. You got to check that out. Yeah, you got to at least listen to one or two of those tablets a day. I didn't listen to mine today, but the main thing that he talks that it stresses out is the Kundalini, the fire. Without that fire, you ain't shit. But with that fire, you can command the entire universe. We have the fire that we have within is very, very powerful. That Kundalini energy can do some shit.
So I'm very familiar with that within myself.
Yeah, I think the spirit world.
I feel it like kind of. Go ahead.
Well, the spirit world bows down to that energy, that our energy. Even though while we're down here in flesh and blood, but on the spiritual realm, when we're raising that energy, they got to bow down to it because that shit affects them.
You know what? I used to think people didn't fuck with me, like people don't want to, but I know my energy is so high that they can't stand to be around me like that, like because their energy is kind of opposite of the energy that's come emitting from my essence and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm vibrating on that level where that unbridled primal energy is like abundant in me. Like, you know what I'm saying? How they say in the Star Wars series, the Force is strong with that. Feel me?
Yeah, my energy. It's like viewing a goddamn black hole from a distance. It's like you look at it, you see the beauty of it and the magnificence of it, but you don't want to get close to it because if you do, you're getting sucked in. Because that motherfucker is so massive. You see, we got melanin, dark matter, dark energy, which is black, the energy in a black hole. And what makes a black hole so fucking deadly is that it is the mass. It's so goddamn massive. Light can't even escape from it.
Right.
So that's working with some hell of a energy right there, where light can't even just escape from you.
Right. That's primal energy right there. That's like when you know what I'm saying. That's really unbridled primal energy.
Yeah.
Like when you get what I'm saying, it's like that's the energy that's thriving within us is like that unbridled primal energy, and it has to be tamed by a conscious being, because other than that, it will destroy. It will totally destroy. If it wasn't contained, it would totally destroy this whole reality.
Yeah, it can destroy it, or it can heal it and restore it. It can destroy it or restore it.
Right about
Yeah.
that. Right about
Mm-hmm.
that. Right.
Yeah, and it just all depends on the cycle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Right. You are definitely right. But this is what they've been looking for, the hedge boson, right? The hedge boson is a fundamental particle assisted with the hedge force. The hedge force.
The Higgs.
A force that gives mass that gives mass to other fundamental particles that gives mass. So they dealing with primal. They trying to tap into that primal energy, bro.
Yeah.
They trying to tap it. They trying to get into primal mother. They try to wake up primal mother. They don't want to do that, man. They don't want to wake up.
Collapsing. They're gonna collapse the whole goddamn universe, man. They gonna shit. They gonna open something they don't want. They ain't got no business, and they gonna feel bad, sorry that they did it. They gonna wish they hadn't done that shit.
That's why I'm like people are always complaining what they're doing. I'm like, yes, do it, keep doing it. Yes, keep fucking with shit that I don't know nothing about. Thank you.
Yeah, they go open up some shit that's gonna scare their ass back to the Stone Age.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. This shit gonna take their ass back to the Stone Age and hurry. No. That's if they lucky. That's only if they lucky. Shit. They ass might get turned. Oh shit.
Okay, mass. Look, a particle's mass determines how much it resists charges its speed or position when it is enclosed as a force, when it is encountering a force, right? Not all fundamental particles have mass. So they're talking about trying to, you know what I'm saying, wake up or shake up mother. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get some of her energy. You
They're
know what
trying
I'm
to get
saying?
mama's attention. Mama, she gonna say, boy. Bam.
Right, right. That part right there. You gonna fuck with me?
Mommy, why you hit me so
Right.
hard? Shit, you know you get on mama's nerves when you do that.
Really.
Yeah,
they trying to deal with the symbolism around it, like the destroyer symbolism around this shit and all this stuff. But they just playing off your own subconscious, man. Y'all gotta realize this is a quantum computer we're dealing with. All our collective
but they're dealing with a bunch of quantum computers down here too. We're quantum computers, remember? And
right, but the main one they're attempting to affect is the collective conscious. Why? Because the collective consciousness is what creates this universe.
So in other words, they're trying to beat us to it. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So they're trying to beat us to what we're supposed to be doing inwardly.
Right.
Oh, man. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get there before us. And so by the time we get there, they kind of like got the shit all mapped out.
Well, the only way they can get to it is through us. So they're creating these simulations that we're playing out through mental social engineering. So
then all we got to do is put monsters. All we got to do is just put a virus or a bunch of boogeymans in the program that come after them.
Right.
Yeah, we can manifest.
We keep doing our rituals, bro. We on point. Keep doing our rituals. We're changing the dynamics of what is being created. Look. What we have to realize is the act of creating something is spiritual.
Well, then, based on that, then they're running into some really scary monsters out there right now doing this shit. Based on us doing these rituals, I know because the shit I be projecting out there ain't pretty for them. Right. And if that shit is manifesting through that collider on their ass, then they got some problems.
Right.
Yeah, and if it's collectively, if we're collectively, we can, because when they turn this CERN on, assuming they really do have a large hadron collider, because they could be lying to say they do have one and they don't, and they just use us.
Yes, exactly. We are the hadron collider. Because if we just imagine it, if we keep going over and over in our head, that's what's going to happen inside of us.
Yeah, we are the Large Hadron Collider. And they are tapping into us.
Yes.
Yeah. They got so now if that Large Hadron Collider really do exist, they got two colliders.
Right, because that's how the spiritual world works, though, right? Because that's an altar. Whatever they created on the physical level is just an altar.
Yeah.
Right? They're trying to when you create an altar, trying to do something to imitate to imitate something on the spiritual world that you want that intention to go into other realms.
Well, right? Why do you think they call it an altar? It alters things.
Yes. Exactly.
The alternator. The alternator.
Ultimately, that's what all the structures on the planet, the pyramids, the mounds, All of these are just different
altered.
to tap into the world that's beyond our that eludes our senses.
Man, those things are probably our fucking airports and fucking just we tapped in and we go to Sirius or some other fucking galaxy or star system for the week, for the day, and have breakfast and come back over here.
Imagine if we fell asleep in one of those areas. Woo! You gone. You somewhere else. You probably gonna have some out of body experience shit that go on at that point where
they
you
probably
like,
don't allow people of melanin around them places too often.
They damn shut them places down, a lot of those areas, because they have shut a lot of those areas down.
You're right. Don't want none of us nowhere near any of these places.
Imagine we collectively go to these places and meditate collectively.
Oh,
man.
Man.
Imagine we organize a worldwide meditation on all the ley lines on the planet.
Man, that would change the radiation of the sun, the different rays of the sun's giving off. It'll be giving off rays that, people that don't belong here can't stay here. Because if they go outside, the sun will kill their ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only way we're going to actually, once we evolve to that level, that's when everything's going to be revealed to us. We have to evolve to that level where I just said, where we at a level of humanity. Of course, we're going to have to go through all of the bullshit that we're going to have to go through. But on the other end of that, we're going to evolve to a level where the other entity is going to introduce themselves, because we evolve now.
Yeah,
we introduce themselves. All we're going to do, if they introduce themselves to us, then I'm already familiar with. They always introduce themselves to the people who are already tuned in, right?
Mm-hmm.
They introduce themselves to the people who ain't tuned in. They're gonna be the first thing they're gonna do is try to kill them or try to be scared and go into a more repression of themselves.
Yeah, they either gonna faint and die.
That will interfere with their evolution, their spiritual soul evolution.
Yeah. So they have to stay hidden until in the ethers until these motherfuckers wake up.
Right.
And only appear to motherfuckers that they can't hide from no more.
Look,
some people are so awake that they can't hide from them. They are just there. You are. I see you.
Our senses can sometimes get in the way of us. Our senses can sometimes get in the way of us tapping into our higher sensory capabilities. Right?
Well,
intuitively.
Mm-hmm.
Because we so fixated on this sensory experience.
No, we have too many distractions. We have too many distractions.
We so no, that's what I'm saying. It is a distraction. This is what we got to master that.
Yeah.
That level of sensory perception, it limits our because you know how when you, and that's why a lot of monks, what do? They deprive themselves of a lot of stuff. Why? Because that deprivation leads to the height. And it's like when a blind man or someone goes blind, their ears start compensating for their blindness. So
I think on one hand it's good, on the other hand it's not.
I think our sensory perception. I think our sensory perception operates the same way. If we so focus on sensory perception of see, hear, taste, we're not going to tap into the other aspects of our sensory perception, or what we're referring to as the divine dark side.
Well, some of us come here already knowing that we have higher senses beyond our little five senses. Some of us come here knowing that we're greater than just a five sense being. We were reduced to five senses. Okay. Some people think we were developed. We evolved the five senses. No, we were reduced to five senses. Now it's about climbing back up and and tapping back into the ones that we fell out of and fall back into.
We put too much emphasis on our conscious experience too. It's when you really consider it in your existence, it really doesn't even represent. It really doesn't represent the totality of your existence. For the totality of our existence, for a big portion of your existence, you're in the dream world. You're in the astral world.
Oh, you're right about that. I mean, yeah, what this life, Glenn, who I appear to be, yeah, it's not the totality of my being. Um, I think to try to even describe it in words is not possible.
I mean, once you try to describe it, you bring it down to you minimize it. Its greatness. It's greater than what you can even say in words. Words
Yeah.
can't explain. Words
No,
can't explain it.
No, I can't explain this on from a human standpoint or aspect. You know,
Right.
angels, and even the angels only they can't even explain it completely either. Shit.
The angles are they can only allow for you to access that aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? They basically are calling for you to harmonize and relate to that aspect of self. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So once you can, then you able to tap into their when I would say consciousness, their intuitiveness of the universe too. Or how they intuit because I thought about that too. Like intuitiveness, right? Is a form of intuitiveness is a form of cognizance, of cognizant existence,
Isn't
but it's
that
not necessarily.
isn't that
Go ahead.
what those two them guys um, that found the Enochian alphabet and the Enochian spirits, Frank D. and I forgot his associate, but they worked for the Queen and they formed the Enochian alphabet, or they discovered the Enochian alphabet, and they were able to communicate with these Enochian angels
Right.
that was giving them some information or something, but they kind of tricked them because they're not of melanin.
Right. I'm not familiar with the Neokin spirits or anything, so I gotta go do some research on
Yeah, I'm sort of kind of familiar with. Well, I'm familiar with the alphabet. That's for sure. I know the Enochian alphabet. I know the Enochian alphabet better than our our English alphabet because I know that one forward, and backwards. Not too many people know this alphabet backwards. They can say it forward, but they can't say it backwards.
that. What you're referring to as the alphabet is not even English; it's phonetic in nature. It doesn't originate with English. English adopted all of these things to build what we refer to as English.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's basically English is a construction that is like they put together a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and now it became a more diverse,
Yeah,
a more
what you call
structured.
lingua franca.
Yeah, lingua franca. Well, it
Lingua
became
franca.
a lingua franca, meaning a trade language. It became that a trade language because of it's being used globally as a trade language. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just like how at this point most people, and this is like people don't realize that's literally European hegemony, right?
European what?
Hegemony, that's imperialism or globalization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or colonization, European colonization, which literally ended. It ended on in 2008 or 2009, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a brother who used to be on KPFK.
Oh, speaking of the ending of the British imperialism or whatever. Bye bye,
Yeah.
Boris. Bye bye, Boris. Boris Johnson.
Right. See, the people don't realize the fall of European imperialism means the fall of America because you got to understand the history of what we refer to as America is nothing more than a British venture.
Yeah.
It was a
Hey, they
British
shut.
venture, European imperialism.
I saw a video where on the royal palace where the crest is off the door. I mean, off the gates. One of the crests is just lying on the ground.
Damn. But yeah,
Yeah.
Europe is falling apart too right now. That's the thing about it. And what it is the global reset has to be evaluated from the perspective of these people who have no interest in humanity.
Hey, I was listening to some Myra Moss on Black Magic 363. What's the brother Rich? Go brother Rich.
Yeah, yeah.
Myra, she was talking about Big Mama energy. She said that the corruption on this planet has reached a level that's so beyond understanding to where we can't handle it on our own no more. So Big Mama got to come down and step
Oh
in
yeah,
and fuck
I
some
said
shit up.
that's why I said that years ago too. That's why my name is Stern Ma'at Bay. Because I already knew Ma'at had to come and whoop some ass.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Ma'at is justice. Ma'at is literally balancing the scales. And that is
Well,
not pretty.
yeah. In Hebrew, they call it the Shekinah, and
Yeah.
and and one of the manifestation is the Sekma.
Peace, peace,
Sekma.
peace. Right, chaos.
Mm-hmm. When
Right.
that Sekma,
Oh, is that an aspect of Ma'at?
yeah,
Wow. Peace,
yeah,
brother.
that segment, that bloodlust,
Right.
that comes in the end times, like now.
Right. It appears that Setmek is also a version of Khalif.
Ali,
I call it
yeah.
Khalif.
Mm-hmm.
They are like the same similar energy.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's basically like it's like there's no rage or no wrath like a woman scorned wrath.
What would be a form of Kali or a segment was Hurricane Katrina?
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. Like Now, like it's not. It don't see the thing about it. It don't always just come in environmental disasters and weather shit too.
It can be
It
social.
could
It
be,
can be
it can be the fall of this economy. The fact that they can't get it right no more. They just can't get it right. And we thinking, oh, they're resetting the shit. They resetting the shit because they trying to implement a greater control over shit. No, this shit is falling apart. They don't got the answers, motherfucker, and they trying to figure this shit out. They got a lot
they
of resources. They got a lot of resources at the end, but that going back to what I was saying, that means nothing in this new dynamics.
yeah, because them resources don't belong to them.
Right?
They,
That's what people. That the thing about it is there's revolutions happening all across the globe. There's been revolutions happening across the globe. So no one is agreeing with their governments right now. So some of these governments who are the elitists are the ones who are the government, and they are these people who are intertwined with the art. And I mean, these are the agents of the dollar block or the archons.
ball.
You know
And,
what I'm
and
saying?
and then you got all of these billionaire oligarchs, okay, of these big corporation oligarchs, man, that's trying to play God down here, but they're all feeling it right now. They're all these oligarchs, the uh, what's his name, Amazon, uh, Zuckerberg, shit, even Moss. He's one of them. He's one of them too. He's just a different type. But these Bill Gates, Bill Gates. Look what this motherfucker is doing. He's buying all the farmland in one of the states. I mean, they're buying up all the real estate. They're trying to buy up all the farmland. They want to own the planet. These motherfuckers going to find out you can't own the planet. You can't own this planet.
Oh yeah, the brother reminded me of this. Is this what you? I think this is what you're referring to the Nas the Nasara the National Economic Security and Recovery Act was a set of proposed economic reforms for the United States, suggested during the 1990s by Harvey Frank Frankus Frankus Barmar claimed that the proposal, which included replacing the income tax and the national sales tax, abolishing compound interest, in security loans, and returning to a blintolic currency, blintoric capital. A blintorism is a monetary standard in which the value of monetary units is defined as the equivalent to such quantities of two metals, right? So they're
Mm-hmm.
saying instead of being in debt, being over amount of whatever monetary unit is worth, right? So they saying two. It said equivalent to two certain quantities of two. So for one of whatever monetary unit you're using, you have to have two gold, or silvers for it that represent it. That is equal.
Oh,
So
going
that's
back
what.
there. So they're talking about like going back to a gold standard.
Right. It's called a biltalism, or blimtalism. B-I-M B-I-M B-I-M-E-T-A-L-L-I-S-M. Biltalism. I'm not probably pronouncing that properly, but I think that's a good point that the brother is making about this. I was already stressing this point too. It said also would would result in zero inflation and more stable economies. The proposal was never introduced before Congress, right?
Oh
But
well, that never will be, because then the governments can't print, and they wouldn't be able to do all the things that they're doing now.
right,
They would have,
it would totally shut down. It would totally shut down the bank in the banksters game. It would totally shut down. It said becoming since okay, well, NASCAR has since become better known as the subject of cult-like conspiracies promoted by Sen Senini Candin, Goodwin, also known as Dove of Oneness, who claimed that the act was actually passed with addition provisions as the National Economic Security and Reform Act, and it by the George W. Bush administration. So yeah, that's a good uh, thing that really I feel like needs to be pushed, and I think it was a class action suit associated with that shit that they actually wanted class action suit.
what do you do with the central banks? Okay, because they're the one that's perpetuating this shit.
Well, no one is promoting no central bank except those who have an interest in the goddamn central bank.
I mean,
no
because
one is, nobody is promoting the central bank. Now they've led us to believe that, like, because when they came out in 2008, they too big to fail, right? Which is a mantra. That was a mantra. You remember how they was keep saying that over and over again? They're too big to fail. They're too big to fail. They connected a spell on us because we was under the impression that we needed them.
Yeah, what they were really saying, help us help our friends, help us help our friends, help us save our friends.
Yeah, help us help our friends to keep fucking you over.
Yeah, help us help ourselves fucking you.
Yes.
Help us help ourselves fucking you. Okay?
Basically, help us help you, help us fuck you some more.
It's like help me, help you, help me, help myself, fucking you.
That's a cold game. It's a cold game, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help me, help myself. Help me, help you, help myself, fucking you. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like what you say when they say it's like what they say how they create the problem, then they bring the solution. They create the problem, bring the solution. They created the problem though.
Yeah, and then we signed the contract.
Right.
And then we're under their we're under their rule. But see, that's over with. That's changed. That's over with because we're on the planet now.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, because everybody's becoming wiser to their bullshit now.
Yep. Our energy is down here.
Gradually. And this is why they're desperate. This is why they're doing what they're doing. We're trying to act like they have this ultimate plan. No. They have a plan.
They don't have no plan. If they had one, it'd work by now.
Listen, they got a plan, but it ain't gonna work.
The only plan they have is staying alive. That's the only plan they got is trying to stay in power for another day.
Look, they figured out what we already been speaking to the masses about this spiritual awakening that is going to change the dynamic of reality itself. The vibrational level is changing to the point where we're going to literally change physical reality with our minds because of our higher vibrational consciousness. Physical reality is changing right now. This is what the Mandela effect actually is. Y'all trying to act like, oh, they turned on that CERN machine and now the Mandela effect. No, the fact of the matter is we collectively create this reality. All of us. All, and I don't even think it's 6 billion of us. I think it's way more of us. And I'm not even talking about just so-called humans. I'm talking about the other entities that exist on this planet amongst us.
Oh, well, then it's a whole.
Because we vibrating on such a low level, they exist amongst us. They are right amongst us right now. We just are not vibrationally tapped into where we can see them. They here.
Yeah.
They already been exposed. Disclosure has been a long time ago. A long time ago they disclosed themselves.
The disclosure is wake up.
Yes.
When we wake up, then we can be amongst the real citizenship or the real population of the stars.
Right. They amongst us already. And that's the thing of why it eludes us, because we have been vibrating in the matrix for so long.
Someone sent us to our room. Okay, someone sent us to our room and said, stay there, don't come out until we tell you to.
And now we out there, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's up to us to be disobedient and jump out the window or something and run away from this motherfucker.
Look, the thing about it is, that's another aspect. You just remind me of all of these people are going into a level of mercy and praying to the dollar bra, right? When you are, look, the thing about it is, people will shun us for putting their existing totally into their hands, right? They will shun us because we will tell them that you are God.
Yeah.
Oh no, there, my God is somewhere out. Okay, if that's what I'm just trying to put your existence in. You are not subordinate to nothing outside of yourself.
Yeah, if you're praying to any God outside of yourself, you're praying to an insubordinate deity.
Not only that, you are not subordinate to nothing except I will say you are not subordinate to not even to the mother, because she won't want you to be subordinate to her. You know what I'm saying? She wants you to be a warrior, if anything. She wants you to because she don't want to. You know how the mother don't want to come out her bag. She want to send her warriors.
Yeah.
She want to send her warriors. She don't want to come out her bag. You feel me? She'll rather send her warriors.
Yeah.
So this is the dynamics of our relationship with the Great Mother. We know we have children.
Yeah, like on Aliens when they all protect the Queen.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that time the Queen was all chained up, and she started calling out to the other ones, and they came, and she whistled or something, and they jumped on there and they started biting her, punching holes on her, so the acid could burn away all the chains, and the bitch got loose.
Right, listen. That could be an example of why the Great Mother is sending us after this motherfucking dollar bra, right? He's making us do the rituals against the dollar bra. Or sending us do the rituals against the dollar bra, because the dollar bra is overstepping this goddamn boundary.
Yep.
You overstepping your boundaries, man.
Yeah. You
gotta
are. You gotta get back. You gotta get taught a lesson too.
For real.
Yeah, and he gotta get taught a lesson in front of his people, so they can wake up.
Example, yes.
Yeah, when they see that the God that they worship ain't shit, and is just a subordinate deity that they gave power to over them, over their own selves, when they are greater than that being themselves.
Exactly. When I say that to people, I'll be like, we're not the gods. We are greater than the gods. We are the energy from what the gods are created from.
Yeah, they don't really have a comeback for that. They don't know how to really. But now, okay, now some people are like, I have a friend that's heavily, traumatized from the Christianity, and
And that's exactly what it is, a traumatization. It's traumatizing.
yeah, because their life, they've been going through all these problems all their lives, and they've been complaining about these problems, but don't talk about my Lord. Okay, don't take my Lord's name in vain. But they got all these problems, and they're afraid of what's going on in the world, but don't use my Lord name in vain. But
Right.
the Lord, what the fuck the Lord's doing for you? I mean, what kind of power have He given to you? You have no power. You giving your power up to the Lord,
Oh, it's
and
not about. I'm gonna give you their response. It ain't about the power he gives. It's about my submission and getting in his grace.
well, if that requires you giving up your power, then He must be. All I can say, it better be worth it. Better
Listen,
be worth
listen,
it.
listen. Basically, you are cosmic whole to some entity that's using your ass, pimping your ass, a
Mm-hmm.
cosmic pimp. That's what
Yeah.
that's what you're saying. I'm submitting to my cosmic pimp. Thank you.
Who's the hypnotist? Who he got me hypnotized, mesmerized
Right. Exactly.
to the point where
Uh,
I gladly go out here and stand on the corner for my Lord.
Because what are we doing by us saying that you are God or even beyond God? We're saying that your total existence is in your hand. You don't want that? Okay.
That's too much responsibility for me. I much rather have, I just all I need is someone telling me what to do, and I just do what someone tells me what to do, and I get
That's
paid for it, and I come home and be with my family,
that's
and
basically what they're saying.
yeah, and
I don't want
I just worry about mundane things. I just watch TV, I watch sports, I go play basketball with the boys.
the Matrix
Yeah,
to continue to support the dollar bra.
yeah, and every now and then on Sunday I'll go to church and give the Lord His dues.
And you're literally perpetuating the self-destruction of this reality. So keep doing it. You're perpetuating, and you know the thing about it is you think what you're doing is perpetuating the reality that you're comfortable with, but you're making it more. It's like
You're
inflation.
perpetuating your prison.
It's like inflation to the point where the dollar is at a point where now it's like the deprivation of the dollar is too. It don't have no life in it no more. You can't pump no life in it too no more. What they call
Yeah,
that shit?
we
What do they
become
call
a banana republic.
Yeah, what do
Yeah,
they call it?
yeah,
What's that D word?
every
What's
yeah,
the D
everybody
word?
wants the D word, deflation. Or
Deflation. Or and it's another one too. Deflation is another word to talk about how a
depression.
dollar is value.
What depression, or it's a D word?
Yeah, I can't think of it. That's a good one too, though. Deflation. That's a
Hmm.
good one.
Well, it's like the dollar becomes so um, unvaluable until you can walk around with $1 million in your pocket and you can't buy shit with it.
That's the thing about it is that has been a question recently about how all these rappers are getting all this money. It's worthless. So follow me for a minute, and we have to end the show in a minute. Follow me for a minute. It's worthless, so they basically print it out so they can give it to any other public figure out here that everybody is looking at. It's social engineering. They give it to it like brothers, like motherfuckers like 6ix9ine. What's his name? Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? Well, he walk around with millions of dollars every day. He said it personally. He said it on every fucking thing he do. He said, "I never leave the house without $1 million on me." Right? So what is he telling you? He's trying to tell you. He's trying to perpetuate the dollar boss reality that he wants everybody to fall under the influence of. Not knowing everybody who don't realize that the dollar really doesn't have the value that it has. That you're trying to impress us by having it, making it seem that make it appear to be.
It's only debt. It's only debt anyway. It's only debt. You see what happens is the government have the Treasury Department print up these Treasury bills and Treasury bonds, and then they sell them to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve gives them credit, and they can print money off of that. But that's debt.
It's all the security scam that they do.
It's a Ponzi scam.
They trade one security for another security, and neither one of the securities has a fucking value except the fact that people are allowing this. When they're using people's votes. They're using people's votes to justify what they're doing. And that's how they getting away with this shit. Right? But now it's more arbitrary now. Now we're realizing the scheme is becoming more blatant now. The scheme is becoming more blatant now. So now at this point, they got to a point where they had to censor everybody because everybody started waking up to it and started exposing it on social media. So now they censor shit, right? The censorship now listen, the censorship didn't work because even YouTube have to back off of their censorship policy because they're in violation of people's freedom of speech. They're in violation of people's freedom of speech. This is the Supreme Court. So what I'm saying is, it takes a pause. They will implement certain things in the public that haven't even took solid hold yet. Haven't even took hold on the policy yet because they got to go through this whole send a book legislation to the Congress. Every Congress is supposed to read it, and then they supposed to send it to the Senate. Then they supposed to send it to what? You feel me? It's supposed to be a process, right? No, along that process happens. That shit happens over a year, months, sometimes.
Yeah.
Or actual law becomes a law.
Yeah.
But in between there though, they keep on pressuring the public, like with the mandate shit, right? They saying, it's a mandate. When the whole time the mandate hadn't even been went through all the channels of the powers of government yet. It hasn't even been through all the powers. But they start claiming that it's a mandate though.
But check this out. If there was something that they really, really wanted, what they will do, it's like what they did in 1913, the Jekyll Island, when they enacted the Federal Reserve. They did that shit on a holiday, man.
Right.
In December.
Right.
They did that shit during a recess or something. And they all came together and they voted on that shit. They enacted that shit just like that. So if there's something they really want done, they know how to get it done.
Well, the thing about it is there is too many people in Congress who are paid off. So the people who are like this stuff has already been told and already documented on record. People have talked about it in Congress, but these are lone voices. There are lone voices. A lot of people have already taken them. Most of Congress are millionaires, but then they give up their positions of power just to take on that congressional position, only so they can make it better for the corporation that they're going to go back to being a part of as soon as they get out of office. Stop it!
Yeah.
It's really it's cronyism at its finest, man. But
Yeah.
we get your last words in, brother. I got to go do my next show.
Man. Oh shit. Next week. Okay. Yesterday was the labor report. That was the beginning of these big reports coming out. But next week we got the CPI coming out. Then we got the FOMC meeting Thursday and Friday, which we're going to get a 75 basis point rate hike. And God knows what that CPI is going to be. If that CPI comes out stronger than anticipated on Wednesday, we're definitely getting a 75 basis point rate hike and a real hawkish stance towards interest rates. And then on top of that, we got second quarter earnings coming out next week too. It's going to be very volatile from here on out. It's going to be very, 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 very volatile.
Wow. And the crazy thing about it is, y'all need to pay attention to what the brother is saying, because that translates to what's happening socially.
Yeah.
Right? It translates to what's going to happen on the social. So whatever you seeing is a result of the market, this thing that's happening on the damn economics in the economy. So
yeah, like I was telling people, I was showing a long time ago the chart on the 30-year Treasury. Okay, the yield on the Treasuries have skyrocketed, pushing mortgage rates up, pretty much broke everything. But now the yields have made a double top. They reached the same top that they hit in 2020 or 2019 before the whatchamajig came out, and we had that little crash and recession. Well, yields dropped like a rock after that. Well, they're getting ready to drop like a rock again, and that means the 30-year Treasury bonds are going to be the baddest investment. Is going to be one of the biggest money makers over the next few months, because if you look at the monthly chart, this motherfucker is forming what is called an inverted head and shoulders. Okay, an inverted head and shoulders is a sign that the market is getting ready to skyrocket. So if you have a regular head and shoulders, that's a sign when the market is getting ready to just fall apart. We already had that part. Now we're forming an inverted head and shoulders, which means this motherfucker is going to new all-time highs. So it's something to watch out for.
with
That
that,
means, yeah, we can. Okay.
All right, brother. We'll talk.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Appreciate your expertise too, brother.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Order out of chaos.
Absolutely. Yes.
Order out of chaos and chaos out of order.